guys, so I'm gonna start my day off. Got my coffee made first, most important thing, and then I'm gonna jump in my journal. So as you guys know, I like to journal every day, get my goals down, write out what we need to do for the business, and then I gotta get on the computer and get some work done. This is what I do every day. So from there, get some work done on the computer for whatever projects we have going on. Today is Saturday. So I got to jump on and do a podcast for the FNG Academy Mentorship podcast. So I'll switch up the mics, do a podcast, and then we'll do the talking head for Monday. So at this point, I'm going to jump in my journal and then knock that out. All right, glad that I jumped in and got it written out because I realized that we've been having so much going on. I haven't really focused on the mentorship program, which is dropping June 4th. So I got to get back into that and make sure that it's honed in and ready to go. So I'm gonna have to jump on a few phone calls today with the web designer and see where we're at. Recently we had, the journal, and then we had our knife drop, our Sears School knife drop. Not gonna do it. Okay. So we had our Sears School knife drop. So much stuff going on. And if you guys are ever worried about business and you want to get into your own business, just know that it's kind of frustrating sometimes because there's so many delays in projects. So you really want to be on top of 5 or 6 projects at a time. Hopefully, you can start getting one that's dropping or coming soon at a time. But if you always have 5 or 6 in the works, you could be more consistent. But if you only focus on one project at a time, like right now we have my book number 2, we have a Ruck Trainer that's at the engineers that we think is going to be a big drop. We're going to release a training app that's going to go with the Ruck Trainer to teach you guys how to use it and to give my workout plan for rucking. Not for workouts, we're still going to use 18 Alpha Fitness for that, but for rucking specifically, I'm going to have it all broke down, videos on how to, the whole 9. Now that my journaling's done, I got some reading done this morning, I'm going to jump on the computer and get some work done. All right. I got so much more to do. We have to jump on the podcast. I'm going to knock that out real quick, and we got to start this video. Which is better, rucking or running? That's what we're going to talk about. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the FNG Academy. Buck here, former Green Beret, here to help you guys get selected. All right, guys, in this video, we're going to talk about running versus rucking. What is better? Should you be doing more running? Should you be doing more rucking? How do you balance the two? So that's what we're going to talk about. But first, this video is sponsored by 18 Alpha Fitness. If you guys want to get in shape, make sure you go check out Kevin over at 18 Alpha Fitness. Use code word BUCK and he will hook you up. I don't know if you guys seen all the stuff we got for you, but I'm sure I talked about it in that little vlog segment we did, which I'm still getting used to. I'm no fucking Casey Neistat. I don't know if you guys know that, but this whole vlogging thing sucks and it's hard. It's really hard. I don't like it. I'm not a fan, but I'm gonna keep doing it because I'm gonna get better at it. But let's talk about rucking versus running. And Abel, if you can do me a favor, go ahead and slap on some B-roll of rucking and running, because I've been doing a lot of that shit lately. Ask my knees. I sound like I'm fucking breaking sticks walking upstairs. Scheiße. So I'll see you guys after that little B-roll segment. Already, that was it? I thought I did more rucking and running than that. All right, welcome back. So how should you break it up? Honestly, the answer to that question is really going to depend on what your natural fitness level is. Are you a good runner? If you are really good at running, some people are just naturally really good runners. They played soccer, they played a lot of sports growing up. They like to run. Those guys are obviously, and girls are going to obviously need to focus more on rucking. Here's the thing, guys, that you need to remember is that rucking is not natural. It's not normal for someone to put, 55, 60 pounds on their back and walk 20 miles. If you don't train for that, you can and will get injuries and that pull you out of selection. You're going to have so much weight on your back in selection that being able to for your body to manage that without injury is paramount. You have to train rucking, and you have to do it properly. Don't worry, we got you situated on that. We're working on it. We got a Ruck Trainer that's going to come out pretty soon, and it attaches to the Molly 2 Ruck system. It's going to come as a unit. It's a Molly 2 Ruck system that you can just throw weights on so you guys can train. The engineer's working on it right now. So the reason for that is so you could go from the Ruck Trainer to selection without changing the ruck setup. So you're exactly used to that ruck frame, the shoulder pads, and all that stuff. So that's coming. That's going to release with an app. The app is going to tell you our workout plan for rucking. Not all workouts, not 18 alpha replacement or anything like that. We still love Kevin. We're going to keep using Kevin for workouts. It's for specifically rucking, only rucking. So he's going to have a bunch of ruck tips, socks to use, gear recommendations, all that stuff on the app. But it's also going to have a program for the trainer so you guys know how to build up to it. Trust me, if you start throwing in 65, 75, 85, 90 plus pounds on your back and just going out and hitting it, you're doing more damage than you are good. You have to build up to that stuff. But selection is going to require you guys to not only have a ruck on your back, there's some apparatuses that are so damn heavy, and you're going to stack those on top of your ruck, on top of your back. Down pilot is a notoriously heavy event, a notoriously heavy apparatus, and I felt like my hips were going to literally pop out of the sockets. It was brutal. But luckily, I was able to push through that without injury because I trained up for rucking. So how do you balance the two, and what do I recommend you do to balance the two? I recommend that people ruck 2 times a week. But there's a caveat to that. How much weight you do is very important. Your distances is very important. But also you need to listen to your bodies. When you're like me and you're walking up the stairs and you start hearing knees or you're like wood cracking and you have a lot of pain in your knees, whether you're going in the military, maybe some of you guys are going in your 30s. I'm in my 30s. If you're going in your 30s and you already have bad knees and a bad back, then you need to ease into it. I'm not saying you can't do it. Just because we're injured and our bodies are in pain does not mean that we can't push and achieve greatness with those bodies. Listen, we got to use them while we got them. But you have to listen to your body and know when to take breaks, know when to take a few days of just pure stretching. What you guys is eating is super important and all of that. But I do recommend that you get in 2 days of rucking and then have a good ruck training plan, which we will bring to you. And then also you got to have your fitness plan, but then you got to be able to dial these things in. If your fitness plan is crushing you to the point where you can't go ruck because your legs hurt too much and you can't go run because your body's in too much pain, you need to scale that down. You have to be able to fit in all of these things. And if that means low weight and that means low miles at first, and that means easy, non-intensive workouts at first, then that's what you need to do and then build up to those things. So you should be able to run twice a week and ruck twice a week. That's 4 days a week that you are either running or rucking. And think about it, pacing is everything, whether it's a ruck or a run. We just did a 12-mile ruck and I was cruising to try and just smoke that 12-miler, and it was humid that day and it destroyed me. I almost didn't even make the end of the ruck. I was like falling out because the humidity was in the upwards, like almost 90% humidity, and it was like 80, 90 degrees outside, and it just that day just ripped it out of me. I was like done. You guys, that video is coming soon. You guys are gonna see me sucking. So you have to understand that you have to balance your both, but listen to your body and work on pacing. Like when I go for a run and I'm just not feeling it, my knees hurt, my back hurts, I'm tired, I will just slow that pace down for a few miles and get into it. And you know what? If I can't warm up and get past like the knee aches and stuff, then I'm just coming back. You know what I mean? I'm not going to push my body when I know that I'm pushing into injury zone. I'm not going to do it. So I will ease into that. I'll stretch more, recover as much, as I can, and then try to get back into it. But pacing is a great way to change the workout to fit how you're feeling and how your body's feeling. You have to listen to your body. But when I say like what is more important, rucking or running, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Personally, I think it's more important to train rucking and build up your rucking base. Because for me personally, this is just my experience, running has always been something that it seems like our bodies want to be decent at. So it's like whether you're good at running right now or not, if you continue to run regularly, even if it's, not long miles, things like that, it seems like my body personally adapts faster to running than it does to rucking. It takes longer for my body to get used to carrying heavy weights fast, carrying light weights for longer distances. It takes longer for my body to adapt to that than it does to adapt to running. So I would say if you were going to pick anything over one over the other, you need to have both. Let's just be honest. But if, let's say this week you don't have time, or you're just not feeling a run and a ruck because your body's hurting, I would say focus on your ruck training. And if you're hurting that bad, lighten that weight up. No one needs to be impressed on YouTube with how much weight you had in your pack. No one gives a damn. If you go out with 10 pounds in your pack, well, congratulations, you got some training in, and you listen to your body, you scaled it to what you needed. So don't always think that you have to have, I'm training for SF, so I have to have 60 pounds, 70 pounds. Those ridiculous weight levels are almost never trained at. We don't train at that high weight level. I highly recommend that some of the majority of your max weight ruck is 45 pounds. You don't need to be going over 45 pounds, I promise you. Once you build that base and you could comfortably ruck 45 pounds for long distances, your body will be fine when you throw 60 on. It'll be fine when you throw 65 on in selection. But remember, you got to preserve your knees and you got to preserve your back. And sometimes it's just better to go in healthy and then deal with the excess weight when you're there. So just something to keep in mind, guys. When I say what's more important, running or rucking, I would say rucking. Running is very, very important. I'm not saying it's not, but I think personally that it's a little bit more difficult to get your bodies used to rucking. So make sure you're not dropping your ruck training. If you can only fit one in, fit in your ruck training. And if you do lightweight, and I'm telling you, lightweight, don't put it in heavy, you could jog with your ruck on and then combine the two and get the best of both worlds. Just my humble opinion based on my experience, guys. There's plenty of people out there that know way more than I do that could probably steer you in a better direction. But if you're asking me and you want Buck's opinion, that's what it is. So, all right, guys, I hope you liked that video. Appreciate you coming through, grabbing some coffee with me, doing a little vlog thing this morning. Hopefully it's not too terrible, but I figured I would add a little bit more to these Monday talking heads instead of just me sitting at a desk. See you guys on the next one.